Okay, welcome back everyone. Welcome to a new trading week. This is Jeff here with FXMindshift and welcome to your Sunday weekly review. So, as you can see from the calendar, this week, this is the last week of February. So we are going to be closing out the month here and going into the month of March next week. So things should be interesting. We don't have any, extremely high impact news this week. We don't have any FOMC or CPI folders, anything like that, but we do have just our regular red news folders that we would normally have throughout the week, with the exception of Monday and Wednesday, as you can see. But every other day, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, we will have red news folders in the New York session, right? So let's take a look at our charts. We're going to hop on over to the dollar index, as we always do, and start off with our top-down analysis on the monthly chart. So as you can see here from the monthly candle that is about to close this month here, we can see that everything has been rather bearish this month. Okay, we did start off initially with a run or an attempt to run last month's high. We did not do that. So basically respecting the monthly order block over here, we can see that we have the move down, subsequent move down, and about to close bearish. So I would expect price to continue bearish this week. We may see price reach into this monthly imbalance down here. Okay, and so for me, the draw is going to be that imbalance. We're basically just seeing us reach down into this is December's low. Okay, so we're looking at around 105.30, right, down to about 104.60, right? So there's a nice little monthly imbalance there we can look to fill. So let's drop down to the weekly, and let's take a look at the weekly. So from the weekly, we can see the same, respect of the weekly order block up here, right there. Okay, and the weekly imbalance, which we see the reaction from, which has sent price lower. So this is going to be my immediate draw, 105.40, okay, at that low. And of course, we have the monthly imbalance to fill, so we could fill it down to this level here. So you can see there's a little bit of an imbalance open right there, and we'll see if we can get down to that point this week, right? So in the continuation of this move down here. After that, we can see if we want to continue further down in the range, it would seem logical to see price want to continue down further into this weekly discount range. We're currently at this high and this low. So even if we are going to see price continue higher, right, we would like to see price continue down into this discount level here before doing so. So taking out this liquidity here makes sense. Trading into this, imbalance here, and then potentially seeing maybe price, react off of the OB here. Okay, so a couple areas we can watch for. Let's drop down to the daily chart, and let's see if the daily lines up with what we're looking for here. So on the daily, right, we can see the daily order block here holding with nice pin, nice manipulation into that daily order block. We saw price respect that and continue down. We had a bullish imbalance over here that was supporting price, which initially sent the price higher, right? So if it was going to be bullish, that was the move that should have sent price higher and above that daily high, but obviously we didn't. We held, right? And we can see now that the imbalance has failed, right? And we see that a new bearish imbalance in its place, okay, and price respecting that imbalance and then continuing lower. So the draw to me is very clear. At least for this week here, we're going to be looking for price to come down and take out that low, potentially come back down into the weekly level down here as well. But at the very least, watching for price to drop down here to 105.35 or thereabouts, 105.40. Okay, we could see price tap into this imbalance here and continue lower. So let's drop down to the 4-hour and let's see if there's anything in there that makes it a little bit more clear, right? So we have the daily overlapping here, right? 4-hour order block and 4-hour imbalance just below. We're already tapping into that 4-hour imbalance, okay? And we can see that price is sort of rejecting it right now. We'll see how the market opens, of course. But if we do not hold this particular imbalance here, then we can see if price wants to hold the order block up at the top, because there is another small imbalance right above there. But I would expect this to just hold. So we want to just see price kind of drop from here and then continue to that 105.40 level down here. Right, and so that is going to be the expectation for the dollar. So if the dollar draw is going to be lower this week, seems pretty clear on the other pairs. So for example, EU, we should be looking for EU and GU to continue climbing higher this week. So let's see if that makes sense. On the monthly chart here for EU, we can see that we have traded down into a monthly imbalance. Okay, and initially we did get a nice little doji candle here, a little indecision candle. This next candle this month so far we've been bullish. Okay, and it looks like this week is the last week, so we'll see if we do close on a bullish month here. And if we do close, that means that we have basically rejected out of the monthly imbalance, closed above it, right? And so likely we'd see price move higher, which obviously makes sense and correlates with what we're looking for on the dollar as well. Just like on the dollar, we have this monthly imbalance right here that we can trade to, okay, and the highs of December also. So that level up there is going to be 106.30, okay, and trading up into this monthly imbalance area should be what we do if we do close bullish on the month. So if we go to the weekly chart, okay, and we take a look at the weekly, right? Same thing we can see here is the weekly has traded into that weekly imbalance, right? And we saw price react to it, right? Giving us so far a little bit consolidation, right? Not very strong movement outside of it just yet, but that draw on liquidity here above that weekly range high would be next, okay? 106.30, and there is also a small imbalance just above that as well that we could fill as well. Okay, so that is going to be the draw for me going up and into that 106 level. Let's go to the daily. Okay, and now on the daily chart, as you can see, the low has been established, right? We see price has given us the change of character and the structure shift, right? Price retraced back into the OB down here at the bottom. You can see that price is respecting the 50% of that wick there, right? See, we did not close below that. We saw a nice big bullish move back to the upside, and then price continued higher from there. So the draw here is pretty clear. All right, there's the 105.40, but the ultimate draw is going to be that weekly high up there. Once we clear this level and we close above it, then the next level should be the run above this high right here. Okay, so we want to see price get above this first. Let's drop down to the 4-hour. All right, and if we drop down to the 4-hour, we can see here that price has created this swing low and a move up, right? Also a little bullish imbalance as well that we're trading into right now. I would, since we are trading already through the imbalance here, I'll be looking for price to basically hold the order block, right? So this level right here is going to be the 4-hour OB that I'd like to see price hold, right? And do something like this. So basically we're going to see price continue here and then trade through, and then we'll use this as a support level to trade up into that 106.30. Okay, so something like that would be ideal, right? And that's kind of in correlation with what we're looking for on the dollar as well, right? Same kind of move. So that's what I'd like to see here for euro dollar. Let's drop over to GBP next. Okay, and GBP on the monthly, okay, as you can see, also dropping into a monthly order block and rejecting. Then this current month that we're on right now, February, also bullish, right? Looking to close bullish as well, and so we would expect price to run a little bit higher. There isn't a very clear draw in the middle of the range here, so really what we'd be looking for in this case is for price to come up and run out that swing high level up here, okay, which would, you know, probably be a little bit ways away. But at the very least, we could look for, you know, the last December high, right? Just like we were looking for that in the dollar at the lows and the highs in euro. Okay, so these two levels here we can shoot for if we get a, you know, a close, bullish close this month here at the end of the week, right? So let's take a look at the weekly chart. All right, now on the weekly chart, what we can see here is we have the weekly swing high. Okay, so that is the immediate draw. That's what I'm looking for price to run through first, right? We can see down here we have price respecting the weekly OB, just like we were respecting the monthly OB. A nice big bullish move to the upside here, so a nice momentum that we have. Candles are bullish, right? Continuing to be bullish here. This last week we ended off was sort of a smaller candle, okay, but still bullish nonetheless. So I would expect price to continue with that momentum and run for the weekly swing high up here. So just above the 128 big figure, and then we'll make a run for that swing high above here, above the 134, and that's going to be a lot longer term, obviously, right? But this is going to be the first target. So let's go down to the daily chart. All right, and from the daily, we can see bullish order flow being respected on the way up, right? So bullish order blocks traded back into being pushed higher, breaking highs. This order block here, this is kind of an anomaly. I'm sure this was some sort of news or a gap lower, and then we saw price immediately push right back up. You can see how bullish that was, and then price respecting that level right there, and also this order block to the left here to make this most recent push higher with this imbalance right here, right? So we haven't traded back into it. We don't necessarily need to trade back into it. I think price, as long as we continue to hold the order blocks going higher, we should just see price, you know, go from here and trade higher. But if we do manage to come back into this level here, this is where I would expect the bounce higher if we do make a very large manipulation move lower to start the week. So if we go to the 4-hour chart, right, essentially what I'm looking for, I'll keep the daily levels up on here and just overlay the 4 hours on here so that you can see the last most recent bullish structure that we created right here, right? So we traded back into the highs after we broke through them, and then we created another smaller range here with a imbalance. Okay, so I'm looking for price basically to hold this imbalance, hold the order block that we are going to trade into here, right? Basically seeing price respect this low, and then we won't need to see price drop back into this daily imbalance area. We can see on the 4-hour that there really isn't an overlapping confluence here. There is a very tiny imbalance right here, right? And that high right there. So if we do come back to this level here, maybe we just, you know, come back to this swing high and, you know, kind of react from there. But we can already see that the swing high has been tapped into once, I believe, right here on this down move, right? So just let me confirm that really quickly. We can see that the high of that wick there is 125.498, and the low of this candle here is 125.492. So we did trade into that wick already, right? So that doesn't necessarily have to come back into this level. And so, like I said, if we do continue to hold the actual, this structure right here, then there really is no need for price to drop back into that daily imbalance at all. So if we can just kind of push off from right here, ideally we could just see price, you know, go for the highs and that 128 level from this level right here and never have to drop down below this structure here, right? And so if we can see that happening this week, that will be for GU. So again, the idea is for price to hold, continue higher, right? And then go up for and through that 128 level, just like on Euro as well. So pretty similar ideas here. We're going to see price correlate with US dollar, right? Let's move on to gold next. All right, so for gold, it really isn't very interesting to me. For right now, we can see that it is just very bullish. The 3,000 level is right there. I think that we will at least make a run for it, right? Or maybe fall just short of it. But either way, I think the draw right now is that we're going to hit that 3,000 level. You can see that there isn't really much of any structure at all. On the monthly, the last monthly candle was bullish. This current month is also bullish, and we're just kind of riding that momentum to the upside. There was a little retracement back into this monthly imbalance here, which spurred this whole move, which took out this high over here. So if we were to retrace, which we are far from retracing here, I would say, retracing back into the order block or back into this imbalance here would make sense. But from what I'm seeing right now, everything is, the momentum is still very much to the upside. Let's drop down to the weekly and let's see if there's anything on the weekly that might give us a hint here. So on the weekly, you can see that break of structure. Okay, there is a small imbalance here that price is already, kind of trading away from. So not necessarily needing to see price come back in here. But like I said, if we do make a retracement, I think we will probably hit the $3,000 target first before coming back into that level and seeing that level hit. So probably just looking for price to go straight up from here. On the daily, just a quick look at the daily here. So we have a daily OB at the top of the range. We have a very small daily imbalance here. So I would be expecting price to hold. Currently what we're seeing price is holding that top of the daily OB and not able to close below this line. So I would like to see that hold and continue higher for that $3,000 mark. Let's go to the 4-hour here and we can see this current 4-hour consolidation. So this last 4-hour shift lower, pretty aggressive move down, but we can see price has closed back above. So we have a bullish range that we're working with right here, high to low. Okay, and so far we are respecting the top of that daily order block range. If we want to drop it down, refine it to a 4-hour, that would be this one right here. Okay, and we can see the price is respecting and wicking the top of the OB and staying above, staying afloat. Okay, if we do trade a little bit lower, we do have another OB down here. Okay, and that is kind of, well, that would be obviously better because it's ideally in the discount range, but, I don't necessarily need to see price, go below this imbalance here. So we can already see prices respecting the imbalance and pushing higher. Really would just like to see price go up from here and take out this high and then run for that 3,000 level. All right, so we've got this move like this. Right, and that's what we'll be looking for. And then from there, obviously, we might get a retracement and a move down after that. All right, so that is gold. Let's move on to the indices and NASDAQ futures. Okay, so if we look at NASDAQ right now on the monthly chart, I mean, it's really bullish, okay, for number one, but there really isn't much, movement outside of, we've been just inside of a big consolidation range. We have been moving higher, okay, so last month we attempted to run out that high that we made in December, which we didn't do. This month so far, we've come very, very close. I still think that there is a chance that we run out that high. Right, but we'll have to see. Obviously, the close of the month this week will either tell us if we're right or wrong, right, and see if we get that high run out. But so far, it's still very bullish, right? So we will close the month. It looks like we will close the month bullish at the very least. Maybe we'll close with a very large wick, so that might imply that we will go lower in the month of March. But let's take a look at the weekly chart. And let's just see what's happened so far. So this last week was a little bit tricky because we were targeting the highs, okay, but you can see that we did get a little retracement this week, right? And so this retracement right now, because we took out the previous week's high, right, but we're still staying inside of this big wick right here, right? We can see that we are also respecting the 50% of that wick so far, right? We haven't been able to close through that level, and we're seeing a big rejection and a move lower. Given that, I would say that likely, the draw on liquidity is going to be something lower first before we make a run up here. There still is obviously a very good chance that we will run out this high because of how bullish the structure and the order flow is, right? Even if we do, see price go lower this week and maybe take out some of these short-term lows that we have here, we still could see price, turn around and come back up because we're still, very much in a bullish order flow, right? So if we go to the the daily chart, okay, we can kind of get a little bit of a better picture of what happened this week. So we came back into this range, right? And we took out the liquidity above these equal highs up here, right? But we traded into the order block, the daily order block up here, okay? And that's where we're currently reacting from. And so you can see the big move down as we push lower. For me, because we did take out liquidity up here, and we did take out some internal liquidity, I think we will come back down for some internal liquidity lows before going back up for the all-time highs again, right? So I'm going to be targeting the lows down here and potentially even the lows down here, depending on how we close or what happens after we get below this level here, right? Which is roughly around the 21,400 level. Okay, but just off of the the big bearish close that we got on Friday and the momentum, I think that we will at least start the week pretty bearish, right? And we'll be looking for targets to the downside to start the week. So if we drop down to the 4-hour chart and we take a look, so this is where we saw the reversal, right? We saw a big push and a big momentum to the downside. Liquidity here and here resting is where I'd likely see price want to target next. So this level right here is 21,418. Right now we have some big bearish candles here. So at the start of the week or the open of the week, we might just see price drop. We saw that in the last 2 Sunday opens. We just saw price kind of drop off and take off right at the start of the week. So we might see that again, right, and take these levels out. So if we don't see that on Monday, and we just get some consolidation here, maybe we'll pull back into some of these levels up here, and then we'll see another drop. Otherwise, we could just see price drop right through, and then we'll see what happens afterwards. The idea for me is that if we stay below this level, okay, and close below this level, then we will continue to run for liquidity down here as well, because there really isn't anything in the interim that I can see that price would really respect or react bullishly from. I just see a whole bunch of sell side liquidity here that just is waiting to get taken out. So after this gets taken, let's see if we get a continuation and a run lower, right, to these levels down here. We have a very nice little imbalance and a mitigation here that we can trade down to, and all of this is just very ripe for the picking if we can stay below this level here. All right, so it should be a pretty clear week in terms of direction, provided everything works out the way I like it. Now, that is NASDAQ. Let's drop over to S&P. I think S&P has a little bit clearer target. Okay, so just take a look here real quickly. So again, on the monthly, very bullish, right? Everything has been bullish. We can see that price has respected each monthly order block. Each time we have come down into it, we have respected it and rejected from it and moved higher. The draw for me is still going to be those highs. However, you can see that we have, some consolidation happening. So if we drop down to the weekly chart, right, we can see that that is going to be the draw for me. We're very, very close to it, okay, and price is, moving back and forth. So we might see price, want to consolidate some more before taking that level out, right? We do see price is holding that monthly OB down here. On the weekly, it's going to be this order block right here. And so you can see that this order block held and then push price higher here. Okay, and then we came back into this order block here, which is currently holding price there. And then that's, kind of where we are right now. So I would like to see price run out that high there, but, in case it does want to consolidate and come back lower, right, I think there's a very clear draw on liquidity, which is that low right there, that swing low right there, or even this one right here. If we drop down to the daily chart, we can see that a little bit better. Okay, and if we have the daily, we can see that we actually traded up into this level right here and took out the internal swing high. So this swing high up here was swept, and then we got this big move down. Okay, and so to me, this, just like on NQ, we can see that internal low here is going to be probably the more likely target. Okay, based on how we ended off the week on Friday. So this is going to be my draw, and then of course after that gets traded through, if we continue and hold below that level, this is going to be where I would see price drop down to. So this low below 5,800, and then this low down here below 5780. Those are going to be the two areas that I'll see for continuation if we get a move down and a close through this daily low right here. All right, so that's going to be the draw for me. Let's go down to the 4 hour and let's just confirm that I am seeing what I'm seeing here. This is the 4 hour. So here we have the sweep of liquidity above that high. Is a very, very subtle sweep of the high there. Okay, but we did see after price took out that high, then we saw the big, drop below here. The levels down here, I think, are very close. I think we'll see those go, but this is, to me, like I said, this is a much clearer draw on liquidity to me. For these lows, and then right below that you can see we have an open imbalance and an H4 OB and possible mitigation here that we could drop and react from. This is, a little bit clear to me. Like this would probably give us a bullish reaction, but if we look over on NQ, I mean, there's really nothing down here that I think that would do that until we get down below these lows here. Okay, and then we get to this level. So to me, ES has a much clearer draw on liquidity. I'm going to be looking for ES to come down here to 59.36. And then just like I said, at the start of the week, if we just continue down, we may just make a run for that, So that is going to do it for the weekly analysis and overview. If you guys have any questions at all, you guys can leave them in the comment section below. But hope you guys found that insightful and helpful. And obviously the goal for me is you guys use this analysis to, go into the next week here and catch some awesome trades, right? And if you guys do that, that's awesome. And I would love to hear about it. So if for those of you that are still kind of struggling with profitability, with consistency, you guys are still, looking for your edge, the MindShift VIP enrollment is still open. So you guys can actually join for free. You'll get a free 7-day trial with me and test it out, see if you guys like it. But let's just give you a quick peek into the private Discord community that you'll get access to, right? And so you'll get access to my course. Obviously, you want to learn the strategy that I'm trading, so what kind of setups and what kind of entries that we're taking, right? You'll also get pre-market analysis from me. So every day before the market starts, I give you a snapshot and idea of my trade plan and exactly what I'm looking to trade, right? But obviously the real gem is that you get access to the live trade sessions. So every day, Monday through Friday, between 9:30 a.m. and 11 Eastern, you guys get to trade live with me. So I stream my trades live in the group, and we basically execute on the trade plan for the day. You guys will get basically a backstage pass, a VIP seat with me, and you'll get my exact thought process behind every single trade that I take, right? And so everything that I do, from taking the entry to managing the trade, moving my stop loss, getting out early, whatever it is that I do, you guys have an exact, front row seat to, everything that I'm doing live, and you get also my commentary behind it, so you'll know exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing. So if you guys are still struggling to get profitable, if you guys are still struggling to get funded, you guys are going to learn the strategy that I use to get, basically funded every single week. I've been able to pass evaluations pretty consistently every single week. You can see here from 31st of January. And obviously these are in groups, right? So I'm just showing the one certificate, but every week I pass anywhere from 4 or 5 evaluations, and I just keep adding to them. I have officially completed the 20 maximum for Apex here. So the February, the ones I passed from February 9th, and then also just this past week here on the 18th. So I am now max allocated with Apex. I can show you the exact strategy that I'm using to do that, and you guys will learn that with the masterclass course here, but also in the live sessions with me, right? And if you guys can't make a live session, you guys have a recording that I post here as well. So all of the recordings for the live sessions are posted in here if you miss one, right? But yeah, there will be a link in the description if you guys are interested. Like I said, you guys have a free trial, free for 7 days. Try it out, see if you like it. And obviously, if you feel like, you know, it's helped you with your trading, then obviously you'll stick around, right? So link is in the description. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. But that's going to do it for this video, guys, this week. Good luck with your trades. I hope to see you guys in the community. Just this past week as well, we had a couple of new funded traders in the group, not just myself. Obviously, the people that are implementing and using this strategy are also getting funded in the group as well. So it works, guys. If you guys want to get you know, involved, the link is going to be below to do so. All right, guys, that's going to do it. Hope you guys have a fantastic trading week. Any questions, just let me know. We'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.